All right, welcome back to Lovington Lady Wildcat Softball as we are just underway in this one, scrambling to get. They started this one very quickly, and scrambling to get reset and get the camera reset, get the scoreboard reset, get the lineups in the books, and so Leslie Corral with a fly out. Fly out for the first out. Number 2, Delilah Reese, designated player in this one. She was the catcher in the first game, and the first pitch is in. It's going to be a ball. So 1 out, nobody on, and that's going to miss. Ball 1, or ball 2 rather. So 2-0 is the count, and 1 out, nobody on, and Reese batting second. On deck is number 3. Number is Zimri Ellis. That's going to be a call, strike. That's a 2-1 count. It's going to be a strike. Now, okay, and a foul out of play off to the right for strike number 2. So 2-2 is your count. No outs, a runner on. I'm going to sit down for the time being, but I am going to have to stand up and see if I can move camera and run camera in this game. I asked if I could move to behind the backstop, but the bleachers are elevated. There's very little room. There's no room for the table up there, and the folks from NMAA are here, and the fans. I was not allowed to move up in the stands to get a better angle. There's a little fair ball going down the third base line, and the throw pulls the first baseman off of the bag. So, and the throw, it's an error on, it's an E3, or an E5 rather. So an E5 puts Ruiz on. She's a designated player, batting only in this one. So 1 out, 1 on. It brings up number 6 is Zimri Ellis to the plate. Your center fielder. Lovington is the visiting team in this one. They were home team. That's going to miss low for a ball. So they are visiting team in this one. I'm going to have to put my phone back on the charger as well. Since it's doing everything, it's threatening to get too hot to operate here. I'm in full sun. And everything, I've got things shaded as much as I can, but I can't shade everything. I've got the 2 things that have to say the coolest, and the modem and the tie line box in shade, but I can't shade everything. And my phone is actually going to be the next thing to go, so I'm trying to keep it as cool as possible. All right. So is that a 1-1 count on Zimri Ellis at the plate? 1 out, 1 on. Ochoa on deck, Blackwell in the hole in this game against St. Pius. St. Pius won their game, their play-in game, and they're the number 4 seed. Lovington is the number 5 seed in the state. Now, coming into this one, St. Pius is 22-5 on the season. They were unbeaten in their district and finished first in their district. They're seeded number 4, and because they're one of the top 4 seeds, they get to host this regional first round of the state playoffs. But now that Lovington won their game against Millmore, it was 7-6 by the skin of their teeth in the bottom of the 7th inning, and on the controversial last play, a throw down to third with the runner at third crossing the plate for the winning run. Lovington tied it up and then went ahead 7-6 to win that game. So now they are the lower seed in this one. So they are the visiting team, and it is your Lady Sartans of St. Pius who are playing. Their head coach is head coach Melanie Marquez, and Lovington comes in batting first, of course, as the visitors. And I haven't had a chance to fill in my diamond, so I'll run down their roster and give you, but for Lovington, Corral has already batted. Ruiz is on first on an error. Ellis is at the plate. Johanna Ochoa is on deck. Zoe Blackwell is in the hole. Zoe Ellis is playing third base, batting sixth. And there's, a double playable ball, and they end it. So a little chopper hopper over to the shortstop. And she handled it herself. 6 unassisted for the first part of the double play. Got Ruiz out at second. And then Zimri Ellis was thrown out as from 6-3 in the second part of that double play. Wow. So 6-3. Position in that book for the third out double play noted by St. Pius here in the top of the first inning. So quickly, just like that, 3 outs, no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. Nope, nobody left on base. That's right. Double play was turned and nobody had been on base, so nobody's on base. 3 up, 3 down, no score yet, and St. Pius will come to the plate. And I will give you their deals. Now, Lovington and St. Pius have played each other in the regular season. Lovington came up to Albuquerque, and they played on. Each other earlier in the year, and St. Pius won both of those games, 8-4. Let's see. Yeah, they won both of those games. I believe it was 8-4 and 11-2 were the final scores in those games. So, as they say, it's hard to beat a team 3 times, right? Well, Lovington's been beaten twice by St. Pius, and this is the game. If they're going to win, this will be a game to do it. However, having said that, Lovington would like to win to stay in the winner's bracket and move to play next Thursday up here in the state tournament. And if they come in as a winner, it's double elimination. They would have to lose 2 games before they were out of the state tournament. If they go there with 1 loss, they're in the consolation bracket, and 1 loss, back up here next week would end the season for them. So they're motivated to try to beat St. Pius, even though they haven't beaten them this season. They're 0-2 against them. Their motivation is strong to try to win this one and stay in the winner's bracket. So coming up to the plate is number 3, Diamor Ivari Viegas, the third baseman. First pitch is in, and did she break the plane? No, I believe that was ruled a ball. So bottom of the first, no outs. That's going to be a call strike. Number 33, Domi Moret, the pitcher, is on deck. Number 44, Jojo Chavez, the catcher, is in the hole. So number 3, Ivara Viegas. Swing and miss. Big cut at it. A little ahead of it and under it. So we've got a 1-2 count. That is Quiroga. Ooh, way ahead of it. Way ahead. Got her swinging. Strike out and out number 1. Domi Moret, Domi for short, Domi Moret, the pitcher, is up to the plate. 1 out, 1 strikeout. Now Chavez on deck and Mangum in the hole. That's going to be a call strike. Is Quiroga in the circle for Lovington. She came in relief and got the win. In that win against Miyamura, she came in relief in the top of the 6th inning. Lovington was behind. And that misses high for ball 1. So 1-1 count. Quiroga in the circle, and the catcher, we have a different catcher for this game. That is Bethany Tavera. So that's your battery for Lovington in this one. Quiroga Tavera. That is going to just miss the outside corner. Be for 2 balls. 2-1 count on Murray. Ochoa is at first. Blackwell is at second. That's going to be a strike, so count 2-2 now. Corrals at short. Zoe Ellis at third. I think. No, wait a minute. Yeah, is that right? Yeah. Yep, Zoe Ellis. Yep. Bailey Garcia in left. All right. So strikeout out number 2. 2 outs and nobody on. And that brings up number 44, JoJo Chavez, to the plate. She is the catcher. So Chavez is now at the plate, and Mangum's on deck, and Allaway is in the hole. And that is going to miss for a ball. So 2 outs, no on, runner at first. Okay. Thank you. And a swing and a foul. So count is 2-1 on Chavez. And Tavera left the ball in her glove to show the ump she thought that was a strike. He didn't go for it, so a 3-1 count. As that floated in, old changeup by Quiroga, and Murray didn't offer, or Chavez didn't offer on it. Come back with a fastball, and call, strike 3. A call, not strike, strike 2. So now the count is full. So call, strike 2. As she assumed that it was a ball, you don't ever want to make the call yourself when you're a batter. Chances are, if you throw your bat down and start toward first base, if it's close enough, that ump may, if he wasn't going to call it a strike, he may call it a strike on you. So, yeah, 3-2 count. Swing and a miss. Got her. 3 up, 3 down, 3 straight strikeouts by Quiroga, looking sharp in the circle for Lovington. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. And Rivero is playing right field, and I'm going to get... All right. We'll be back with more Lady Cats State softball action coming up on our stations, our YouTube channels, and our HobbsAmerica.com.
Listen up, Oil Patch. Aftermath Hot Oil Services is here for you. No matter what the conditions, they'll always do what it takes to get the job done. You want Aftermath on your location for hot oilers, back trucks, roustabouts, steam pressure washers, and back dragging. Just to name a few of the jobs they can do for you. These guys don't stop. Call Dominic at Aftermath Hot Oil Services 575-200-4902 for service that never quits. 575-200-4902. Aftermath Hot Oil Services.
When it comes to your hard-earned money, selecting the right bank is vital. Hi, I'm David Campbell, president of First American Bank in Lovington. First American Bank in Lovington is part of this community. So bank with trusted partners you know, and trusted partners that are part of this area we call home. First American Bank offers all the advantages big corporate banks do, and we do our banking with hometown support and commitment. Choose First American Bank, 19 West Washington in Lovington. We want to earn your trust, then earn your business.
And welcome back. As I try to get my scorebook back, as I said, my phone's trying to overheat. But I'm trying to get that back here for you. Top of the second inning here as Lovington coming back up to the plate as the visiting team. Of course, they got first at bat. They were 3 up, 3 down, the victims of a nicely turned double play by St. Pius. And that brings 4, 5, and 6 hard the order due up. Ochoa, Blackwell, Ellis, Zoe Ellis due up for Lovington here. First pitch is in. It is a ball. So 1-0 count. A swing and a miss. Ochoa in front of that started swinging before it got there. 1-1 is the count. Ochoa with is number 2 in batting average for the Lady Wildcats this season, a .429 batting average and a .515 on-base percentage. All right, so a 2-1 count. Joanna Ochoa. Swing and a foul back off out of play to even up the count 2-2. All right, and this one comes in as a ball, 3-2. Now full count with no outs and nobody on. Leadoff batter here, trying to get something started for Lovington. And there's a hot grounder. It's going to make its way by second base, out into right field, thrown into first, not in time. And that's a leadoff single for Johanna Ochoa. Solid contact, a nice hot grounder between first and second. And that brings up number 10, Zoe Blackwell, playing second base. To the plate, she's followed by Zoe Ellis, the third baseman, and Bethany Tavera in the hole. It's really hard shooting through this screen. It's not chicken wire, it's netting. In fact, it's threatening. It's moving all over the place, so it's distracting. I know that. This is the best I can do. And that's going to miss high. So Zoe Blackwell with 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 count. Runner on first. Blackwell with 1 home run. That was a Grand Slam homer that gave Lovington the win over Goddard in their last regular season game. It was a walk-off win, 15-12, under the power of that Grand Slam home run. So 2-1 count. 2-2. Swing and a miss. As Blackwell missed most of the season out with an injury. 2-2 the count. Zoe Ellis on deck, Bethany Tavera in the hole. And a swing and a miss as she goes down swinging under it, slightly behind it. Pretty good heat being put on by St. Pius's pitcher, Murray. Murray Chavez is your battery for St. Pius. Again, struggling to get book. That's going to stay high. So Zoe Blackwell with a strikeout for just 1 out. First strikeout for Murray. And Zoe Ellis to the plate. And there's a hit to the shortstop. The throw pulls her off the bag. So a throwing error. So an E6 puts Ellis on the bag. I mean, the shortstop did good to get to it, and then made the throw. But she made it in. She made the throw in time, but it pulled the first baseman off the bag. So Ellis reaches on an E6, and that sends Ochoa over to second base in scoring position. So still 1 out. Bethany Tavera, the catcher, to the plate. She fouls one down the third base line for strike 1. So 1 out, 2 on. No score in this one so far. Lovington would like to draw first blood and beat St. Pius, something they haven't done this season, falling to them twice earlier in the season. It was at the very end of March. I think it was either March 26th or 29th, the very end of March, when they played St. Pius up here in Albuquerque. Swing, and there's a chopper over to third base. They rule it was foul ball. Yeah, I think she picked it up, and it bounced foul. Where she picked it up, she was outside the line. So they're saying foul ball. Just it's foul ball. They just go back. Yeah, it just becomes a strike. So 0-2 the count on Bethany Tavera. 1 out. Runners on first and second. Lovington like to move them around and in, not waste the base runners. They left too many on the bases in that first game. They left 7 on. As again, another little, and it goes foul ball, almost exactly like it. So it didn't bounce as high this time, but almost in the same place. Tavera just catching a piece of the ball. She's way out in front of it and sort of chopping down on it with the bat, and it's not catching it all. Making contact, just chopping the bat at it just a little bit. So 0-2 count. She hangs tough. And this one is going to be a little bloop pop that is caught by the first baseman. So a pop out to position 3 in the books. And she is out for out number 2. So a pop out to the first baseman brings Bailey Garcia, left fielder, to the plate. Garcia, if she finds her way on Rivero, the right fielder for Lovington, is on deck and then back up to the top of the order to corral. So Garcia trying to launch a 2-out rally here for Lovington. Swings and misses. Swinging up on it, cutting from underneath the ball, missed that one. A healthy swing, though. She can connect. When she connects with it, she can sit it sailing. 0-1 count. And lets that one go. It is a ball low. So 1-1. 2 outs. Runners on first and second for Lovington. Scoreless in this one. Top of the second inning. Lovington, if they win this one, they are in the winner's bracket moving into Albuquerque next week. If they lose, they're in the consolation bracket when they get to Albuquerque to play their first game on Thursday. So they would like to win this one, stay in the winner's bracket, and control their own destiny as much as they can. So 1-2 count. And she chases, protecting the plate, but goes for the high one. Swings under that, and strikeout for out number 3. So Lovington threatens, but can't move him around as they score no runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error committed and 2 left on base. So we're going to go to the bottom of the second inning. No score in this one. St. Pius coming up to bat, and we'll be back with more Lady Wildcat State softball action from St. Pius in Albuquerque.
Lovington Municipal Schools welcomes everyone back. Students, faculty, staff, and parents. This year, show your Wildcat spirit by supporting Lovington students and their activities. While the students are working hard on their games and grades, Lovington schools are working hard for your students and parents. They have a great website full of helpful information to keep you up to date. Check out lovingtonschools.net and stay up to date with Lovington school activities and announcements. And go Cats!
Stone Oilfield Services says many traffic fatalities may be caused by an intoxicated driver. So do yourself and your community a favor and remember the 3 C's of safety: caution, courtesy, and above all, common sense. Safe and sober driving is everyone's responsibility. That message was from Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington, a name you can trust and depend on. For quality and integrity, call 575-396-1840. From the Stone family and staff at Stone Oilfield Services.
And welcome back, as I'm still filling out parts of my book. Ooh, these quick turnaround games make it very, very challenging. All the way is in center. All right, I'm filling out my diamond here. Caba's in right. All right. So we have we have 4, 5, and 6, heart of the order due up for St. Pius. That is Zoe Mangum, the shortstop, up first, all the way on deck, and Huey in the hole. call strike. Quiroga in the circle for Lovington. Bottom of the second inning, Mangum, Holloway, Hui up 4, 5, and 6 in the order. Swing and foul back out of play for strike 2. So I've got some stats on Mangum. Mangum leads in batting. She has a 726 batting average, an on-base percentage of 745. She's hit 15 home runs, stolen 8 bases. She pitches. She has a 2.91 ERA, has crossed the plate 52 times, 61 hits, and 73 RBIs. That one gets out into left field. Not surprising that she hits, and Lovington may need to just be thankful it's just a single. So Mangum reaches with his single. Number 5, Jalen Holloway, your center fielder, up to the plate. Hui on deck, Grady in the hole. And a left-handed batter. This is Holloway with no outs and a runner on first. That is Mangum. Shows bunt. Coming in on it is Zoe Ellis. Makes the throw over to first, and it's beaten out. The throw is beaten out. And Lovington trying to get Mangum rounded second, heading to third, scrambles back. Lovington trying to get back before. Good hustle, but doesn't make it in time. Mangum moves over to second on the bunt. It's a bunt single. She beat it out. There was no error on the play or the throw. Zoe Ellis came in on it, made about as good a play as you can, but Holloway, with being a left-handed batter and a lot of speed, has just more advantage on that bunt, being able to beat it out from the left side of the box. So a bunt single follows the single. No outs, 2 on. Hui at the plate with a 1-0 count. So 1-0. Grady on deck and Trujillo in the hole. Did she get the ball? Did she get the bat back? Must have made a ball. So 2-0 with the count. No outs. Runners at first and second. Tavera behind the plate with Zoe Ellis keeping an eye on that runner at second, trying to keep her from coming over to third. There's a hit that's going to fall out between right and center field. It's going to roll to the fence. It will score 1. It will score 2. And the throw into second base, not in time. It's a 2 RBI double for Aubrey Hui. As Mangum comes in and Holloway comes in. And St. Pius has a 2-0 lead. So no outs. A runner in scoring position on second. That's Hui. Grady at the plate. Trujillo on deck. Caba in the hole. All right. So I am going to attempt to go ahead and, from where I am, to try to run camera. There's a bunt attempt, throw over to first, and then the throw back over to third. Not in time, but they do get the out. So Grady with a sack bunt moves the runner to third for out number 1. And Hui is sitting on third with Trujillo at the plate. So 1 out. And that's a strike. So 0-1 is your count. Another left-handed batter. This is Sophia Trujillo, the designated player. So she's your designated batter, a very tall girl. That just means her strike zone is a little bigger as a pitcher. You don't mind the tall girls coming up because it gives you a little bigger strike zone to hit. So 0-1 count. Swing and a miss. Swung on a low one for strike 2. 1 out. 0-2 count.
We're the pharmacy that you've trusted for over 75
Listen up,
years.
Will.
Being open for that length of time can only happen with consistency, service, and local.
All right, sorry, I was reaching for the camera. Hit that instead. And there's a little foul pop. Tavetta tries to get to it in time, but just count remains. It's going to be 0-2 on Trujillo. Lovington assured by winning that game against Miyamura, they do go on to the state tournament. And there's a foul over to the St. Pius screen, so count remains 0-2 on this batter. Let me see what I'm being deemed about. Okay, Artesia Baseball beat Lovington 15-1 in their game today. So Lovington baseball season is done. And there's a little hit over to Corral. Fires it over to third and then home, not in time to get the runner. So the runner scores, but Trujillo is thrown out 6-3 in the books for out number 2. But Huey scores from first. So now come on. So now it is 3-0, 2 outs. And that's going to be a ball on Caba. Bella Caba, the right fielder, is up. 2 outs, 3 across. Nobody on base. And that's going to miss for ball 2. So 2-0, 2 outs. Bottom of the second inning, a lot of 2s here. Here's the pitch, and it misses. She backs up, so it must have been on the inside corner. 3-0 to Caba. Caba batting in the 9th slot for St. Pius. Be a good idea to try to get her. I don't think I've got any. No, I have no stats on her. And there's a strike, so 3-1 count now. With 2 outs. Lovington just needs to try to get this third out without giving up any more runs. And that's a call strike on the outside corner. It's going to run the count full on Caba at the plate. There's a hit out between first and second base. A little line drive shot out to right field. Rivero picks it up and throws it in. There was no play on that ball. That was a line drive hit. And Caba with a single keeps the at-bat going for St. Pius. Back up to the top of the order with Ivara Villegas. Diamor is at the plate. And a call strike. That's an 0-1 count near. Runner on first. And that's going to miss. 1-1. Three across the plate so far in this game. 3-0 your score here in the top of the second inning. St. Pius, and there's a chopper to shortstop. The play made by Corral, but the throw pulls her off the bat. I'm not sure the throw would have been in time, but the throw did pull Ochoa off the bag. Oh. Gotta write that down as an E6, a throwing error. So runners at first and second now. And that brings up Murray, the catcher, to the plate. And that's going to be a strike on Murray. So 2 outs, 2 on. Ray, the pitcher at the plate. Swing and a high fly ball headed out to left field. No, it actually, yep. So it'll be a hit, and bases are loaded. So a single puts Murray on. I was screened out. I couldn't actually see anything between the ump, the players, and an umbrella. I couldn't actually see what happened out there in left field. So now bases are loaded, 2 outs, and JoJo Chavez. JoJo struck out her first time up. This is her second plate appearance. 44, number 44, JoJo Ochoa. All right. Swing and a foul back out of play for strike number 1. So 0-1 count. And 2 now. Yes. Nope, swing and miss. So now it's 0-2. Yep, 0-2. Bases loaded. Lovington needs to get out of this without giving away more, and that's fouled off out of play. Chavez hanging tough at the plate. Quiroga hanging tough in the circle. Let's see who wins this battle. I think Pius threatening to blow things wide open here with bases loaded. There's a foul. She just kind of made weak contact, spoiling that off, staying alive at the plate. So count remains 0-2 on Chavez. Let's see if I got any. I don't know if I've got any stats on her. Yeah, she's hit 4 home runs, had 34 hits, and 41 runs batted in. So 1-2 the count on her. And that's going to be low for ball number 2. 2-2 the count, 2 outs, bases loaded. Lovington wanting to get out of this without giving up any runs. And the batter calls for time. Got to realize the pressure isn't just on the pitcher; it's on the batter as well here in this position. And a line drive right to the glove. Ochoa reaches up, reflexes, and that comes from practice. That count, reflex hit, a line out to position 3 in the books. Line out to position 3. Great catch by Ochoa at first for the 3rd out. And whew, a big sigh of relief. Lovington gets out of that one. They give up 3 runs, but no more after the bases were loaded. So 3 runs, and they do that on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. There was 1 error committed. Yes, 1 error and 3 left on base. So we go to the top of the 3rd inning. Lovington trailing 3-0. We'll be back with more Lady Wildcats softball state tournament action.
B&B Rentals and Services has got dumpsters. Can you believe it? 30 and 40-yard dumpsters. These guys are a contractor's dream. B&B Rentals has light plant, John trash trailer combos, office trailers, emergency and recovery trailers. Conveniently located in Lovington, B&B can serve you anywhere in Lee County and the surrounding area. Find B&B Rentals LLC on social media, and if you can remember the number, call 396-1722. B&B Rentals and Services.
We're the pharmacy that you've trusted for over 75 years. Being open for that length of time can only happen with consistency, service, and local engagement. Now Pharmacy has supported the local youth in City of Lovington for over 75 years.
Oh,
When you need a pharmacist, you can trust that Nowell Pharmacy will be there for your needs. Go by Nowell Pharmacy located at 122 West Adams in Lovington today. Nowell Pharmacy, a proud supporter of the Lovington Wildcats.
And welcome back to Lovington Lady Wildcat action. First pitch on the first batter up in this at-bat for Lovington. Top of the third inning. And it is a swing and a miss. So I'm working behind the scenes here. And a nice, going to be a hit, a base hit out in shallow right field, a little line drive. And yeah, nice hit. Good connection there. First batter up. Aubrey Rivero, her first plate appearance, and she hits a single. And now brings up top of the lineup again. This is Corral, Ruiz, and Ellis. And that's going to be, is that a fair ball or foul ball? They're going to call that a foul ball as Corral hits one, blisters one down the third base line, but they call it foul. So, top of the third, let me get the score bug caught up here. And that's going to be fouled off. So, the count is going to be 0-2 on Corral. No outs, a runner on first. And the pitch is in. Oh, it's a hit right back to the pitcher. He hits the glove and bounces out. And that's just a not a fieldable ball. I mean, that's your reflex in the circle. Your reflexes can take over. Your glove goes up, and it was not it's more self-protection than trying to hit it. So I am not calling that an error. I'm calling that a single. So back-to-back singles, and Lovington is in business with no outs. And that's going to be a ball. Delilah Ruiz, designated player in this one, up to the plate. Ruiz at the plate, Zimri Ellis on deck, and Ochoa in the hole. And that's going to miss a low and outside for ball number 2. 2-0 the count. Runners at first and second for Lovington. No outs. The potential tying run is at the plate. They need 3 to tie it. And there is a fly ball going out to right field. It is caught, and then the throw coming in is cut off by the shortstop. But it is a sac fly that moves the runner. Doesn't score, but it does move the runner. So Rivero on third. And Delilah Ruiz with a fly out to position 9 for 1 out. Runners at the corners now for Lovington. 1 out. And Zimri Ellis to the plate. Ellis leading in batting average and all kinds of stats. And that's going to be a little line drive to the second baseman. It's going to get by. It's going to go score 1. So that is an RBI single for Zimri Ellis. She's on first. Scored Rivero. So Lovington is on the board with 1 out. And Ochoa to the plate. Runners at first and second for Lovington. Well-hit ball up the center, out to center field, coming around, the throw coming in, and they tag at the plate. They do. They get her. They get the runner at the plate. Lovington being pretty aggressive because they're behind.
Hey, you're good.
So Corral did her job and was sent home, and she got thrown out 6-2 as the cutoff throw came in. And then they turned around through to home to get the runner. But it does move Ellis to second, and Ochoa reaches on the fielder's choice. Now, number 10 fouls the first one back. That is Zoe Blackwell. So 2 outs, 0-1 count. 1 run has crossed for Lovington. 3-1 your score, and they've still got time and life left. They did a lot of damage in that first game, the win against Miamura with 2 outs. That's low. In fact, their catcher Chavez doing a good job of blocking that out. Otherwise, it might have moved some Lovington runners. 1-1 the count. On Blackwell, Zoe Ellis on deck, and Bethany Tavetta in the hole. And that one's going to be fouled down the third base line for strike number 2. 1-2 count, 2 outs, runners on first and second. Lovington would like to keep things moving, like to keep the line going. So Zoe Blackwell at the plate. And there's a hard hit ball, line drive out to center field. Whoa, the throw coming into home plate is going to, this time Coach still holds the runner up, says, oh no, we're not trying that again. So that loads the bases. Well hit ball by Zoe Blackwell. Nicely done. Now that brings up Zoe Ellis to the plate. Bases are loaded. No, yes, bases are loaded. And that's going to be a grounder. Second base takes that, fields that. So that ends the Lovington threat. They do put 1 across. So 3-1 is your score, and we'll be back with more state softball action. Lovington versus St. Pius.
It's no secret, at some point you'll have a question or need to replace or fix something on your vehicle. Whether your vehicle is new or ancient, Lovington Auto Supply is your trusted advisor when you need dependable auto parts. Not only do they have the parts you need, they have real answers to your real automotive questions, and that help keeps your vehicle running longer and stronger. Quality parts, helpful people. Lovington Auto Supply, 217 West Avenue D in Lovington. Napa, get up and go.
NMJC, success through learning. My future's looking brighter. My life's an open door. New Mexico Junior College gave me the chance I was looking for. Affordable education designed to fit my needs. Now every day is filled with opportunity. NMJC, success through learning. NMJC.
At nmjc.edu.
All right, welcome back to Lady Wildcats state softball action. In the top of the third inning, Lady Cats scored 1 run on 4 hits. There were no errors. They left 3 on base. Ouch, ouch, ouch. They had a good at bat, but they just could not bring the runners in, and they had a chance to move ahead of St. Pius in that at bat, and they did not, but they did score 1 run, and that's worth something. It is 3-1 here going into the bottom of the third inning. All right. And we have 4, 5, 6, heart of the order to Mangum all the way Hui. And that's going to be a call strike on Mangum. So 1-1 count on Mangum. She leads almost all the stats and everything. It's not a one-person team. St. Pius is a strong has other players who are good, but man, she is a good one. Oh, nice contact with it, but it goes out, flies out to center field, and Zimri Ellis makes the catch. So Mangum with a fly out to center field, position 8 in the books for the first out, all the way to the plate. Hui on deck, Grady in the hole. 1 out. left-handed batter. Let's see. She had a bunt single and scored her last time up. This is her second plate appearance. She's 1 for 1. And that's a call strike on the inside corner for her. So 1 out. And that's going to be a ball. Left-handed slap hitter. Most of the time, going to bunt or slap hit from that left side of the box. Hui on deck, Grady in the hole, yes. And she does. Little grounder right back to the circle. Quiroga picks it up. 1-3, so a ground out to the pitcher for out number 2, and that brings up Aubrey Hui, the first baseman, to the plate. So 2 outs, nobody on. Hui had a 2 RBI double her last time up. This is her second plate appearance. 2 outs and nobody on. And that's going to miss. Little 2 inside for ball 1. So 1-0. 2 outs, nobody on. Ooh, yeah, call strike. It looked good to me. I was waiting to see what the ump thought. From the side, it's really hard to tell what's over the plate and what's not, but you can tell the strike zone up and down. And, woo, a beautiful pitch. I think even more heat on that one from Quiroga in the circle. So 0-2 count, or 1-2 count, sorry. 1-2, 1-2. Now, let's see what happens. Swing way out in front of that. Fouls it off to the Lovington dugout. Count remains 1-2. Call for a new ball. Ump checks it out. He has the right to inspect every ball before it gets to the pitcher. And he has a right to call for a new ball at any time he wants a new ball. That's a grounder headed over third base. Oh, Aubrey picks it up, fires over to first. Is it in time? No. Beaten out. Yeah. Got to write it down as an E5. I think had she not bobbled it, the throw was good. But it took just a little too long for that. So with 2 outs, there's a runner on first. And Kaba, no, that is Grady, Grace Grady, left fielder to the plate. That's going to miss high for ball 1. St. Pius has a lot of girls with height and power. That's 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0. There's a grounder headed to shortstop. On the run, Corral makes the throw to Ochoa. Well done. For the 3rd out, 6-3 in the books for the 3rd out. So 4 up, 3 down. No runs on no hits. That was an error. The 1 runner, no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. So we go to the top of the 4th inning, and Lovington coming up to the bat. They trail 3-1. It'll be 7, 8, 9 due up at the plate when we come back with more Lovington softball on the way.
Your way to manage your Lee County Electric account. It is called Smart Hub. Now you can pay your bill anywhere, anytime, with 24-hour access to your account. It is free and simple to use. Just search for the Smart Hub app on your cell phone or device and download the free app, or go to our website at lcecnet.com and look for the Smart Hub logo to view your account or pay your bill online. Managing your Lee County Electric account conveniently and securely with Smart Hub. Lee County Electric, owned by those we serve.
Norlee General Hospital supports all Lee County High School athletic programs and is proud to bring you this live play-by-play action. Norlee Hospital knows your health needs should be taken seriously, which is why their physicians are always first to react. Why choose another hospital when you can have one right at home with Norlee General Hospital? Call Norlee at 396-6611 or come by for a visit and talk to their staff and bring back that state titles.
And there's a ground ball, a hit to the shortstop. Mangum picks it up and fires over to Huey for out number 1 as first pitch into Bethany Tavera. She hit a ground out to the shortstop. 6-3 in the books for out 1. That brings up Bailey Garcia to the plate, and now Aubrey Rivero is on deck, and then back up to the top of the hour, to the top of the lineup, Corral in the hole. So 1 out, nobody on, and Garcia to the plate. And that's going to be high for ball 1. That get out of Chavez's hands, but no runner on, no problem. The pitcher, Desiree Quiroga, is flexing. She's pitching but not batting in this game. And that's going to be high for ball number 2 on Garcia. All right, Garcia, 2-0 count. Trying to get things started for Lovington. 3-0 now, so got to think the take sign's probably on. Probably on. Garcia, actually, yeah, all strike. She flinched. Didn't offer, so Murray found the zone when she had to on a 3-0 count, put one in. So 3-1, 1 out, nobody on. Lovington trailing. They need a couple of runs if they can plate them this at bat. Oh, a nice ball. It's high. It's going. Is it going? Is it going? Is it out of the park? No, it hits in front of the fence and rolls. A well-hit ball, a stand-up double for Bailey Garcia. Has her on second base in scoring position with just 1 out, and Aubrey Rivero to the plate. She singled and scored her last time up. She crossed the plate and is the only Lady Cat to do so far in this game. Lady Cats want to change that right here. They are going to put a courtesy runner in for Garcia on second. And I didn't see the number. I'm not sure who that is. It's 18. It's 8, maybe. It's really not sure. All right, so runner on second, 1 out. And Aubrey Rivero to the plate. Swing and a miss. So just the 1 out. Lovington looking to try to. The potential tying run is at the plate right now in the form of Rivero. Shows bunt. Fouls it back to the screen. For strike 2. All right, she'll be swinging away. Unless Coach McCraw is just really wanting to play small ball and move the runner. Because if she tries to bunt and fouls it, she's out. So got to think she's swinging away now. Swing and a miss. But the ball is dropped, but they do throw it down to first. So it is. Oh, and then the ball is thrown over to second, and they get the runner. Wow. I thought that play was done, and I was looking down to mark my book. And instead, they throw over to second, and they have a double play of sorts, unfortunately. So the strikeout was out number 2. And then get the runner out at second. So another double play. St. Pius turned a double in the first inning. No runs on one hit. No errors, and nobody left on base. I can't get my pen to work here because I've got sunscreen on and sunscreen all over my hands. The oils have the bottom of my book to where my pen won't work on it. All I need is, about 3 more problems here, right? That's okay. We're continuing to bring the game to you. 3-1 is still your score here. Going to the bottom of the 4th inning. St. Pius coming up to the bat. Yay. Sophia Trujillo, the designated player, up. It's 8-9-1 due up for St. Pius, the Lady Sartans. Swing and a miss. So 0-1 count. Lady Sartans, Trujillo, a left-handed batter. Caba on deck, and then back to the top of the order, Ivara y Villegas. Swing and a foul back for strike 2. So 0-2 count. Good news is Quiroga's way out in front of this batter so far. And now Coach McCraw and Coach Martin are both out of the dugout. Not sure what they're... Not sure. Somebody get hit? I don't know. On the foul. Okay. So a timeout is taken. I don't really know what's going on. We'll play a sponsor. We'll come back.
Western States Insurance.
Why choose Western States Insurance as your independent insurance agent? Because Western States Insurance is more than an insurance agency. They're a people agency dedicated to the insurance needs of their customers. Western States Insurance is large enough to provide the product you demand and small enough to offer you personal service.
We've got you covered. Western States Insurance.
Call 396-1318 or go by 212 North Love in Lovington.
And welcome back to Lady Wildcat State softball action. Same batter. They just picked up after the timeout. Don't know what that was all about. 1-2 is the count now on Trujillo. Leadoff batter for St. Pius. And a changeup. She tried to wait on it, but still pulled it all the way around and foul. Count remains 1-2. Swing and another foul back. Count remains 1-2. Oh, there's a little shade cloud. Too small. The cloud is way too small, but I'll take it. And that runs in high for ball number 2. It feels like this batter has taken like 30 minutes at the bat. Phone's still trying to get too hot. I'm going to try to hide that. Swing and a miss. Oh, no. Yeah, she caught it. It was a foul, but it was on the third foul tip and caught. So strikeout for out number 1, and that's the 4th strikeout for Quiroga. That brings up Bella Caba to the plate, batting in the 9th slot. Then it's back to the top of the order. Caba hit a single and got stranded her last time. It was her second plate appearance, so 1 out. And that's a call, strike, nice heat. Fastball right at the top of the letters, call, strike 1. 1 out, 0-1 count. Swing and a foul back for strike 2. So 0-2 count, 1 out, nobody on. Lovington behind by 2. They'd like to win this game and move into go into Albuquerque next week in the winners bracket. There's a grounder to Ocho at first. She picks it up and touches the bag. Position 3 unassisted in the books for out number 2, and that brings up top of the order the Amor Ivares Villegas. All right, Murray is on deck and Chavez in the hole. And that's going to miss. She flinched but didn't offer. She is normally the lead-off batter. Top of the order here now. So 1-0 count. And fouls that one off. Strike 1, 1-1 count. 2 outs. Lovington just needs to concentrate on getting this 3rd out. Ooh, that looked pretty good. Tavera left it there for the ump an extra half second. Ump didn't buy it, so 2-1 the count. A swing and a fly. It could be trouble going all the way into left field. It is a shallow pop out to left field. And with 2 outs, that puts Ivara Villegas on first. So a single in shallow left has the pitcher up. Murray, the pitcher, struck out and hit a single and got stranded. So she's 1 for 2 in this game. And a strike. A lot of heat. Nice pitch by Quiroga. So 2 outs. A runner on first. 0-1 count. Lovington needs to get the 3rd out without giving up another run. It's going to miss. 4-1. 1-1 count. The loser of this game will still make the state tournament next week, but they'll go in the consolation bracket, and that misses just low, and I guess a little outside. So just 2-1 the count now. Swing and a foul back to the screen to even things up, 2-2. Lovington 1 strike away from getting out of this at bat. Getting in the dugouts, trying to get their bats. Swing it again. Little changeup headed out to left field, and the third base coach in the way. When I swung the camera around, still couldn't see Garcia catch that, but she did. Take my word for it. Made a nice catch out there in left field. So a fly out to position 7 in the books for the 3rd out. St. Pius threatens but does not score. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors committed, by the way. No errors as I try to get my pin to work. And 1 left on base. So here we go. Bottom of the top of the 5th inning now. Top of the 5th inning. And we're going to have a pitching change for the Lady Sartans as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Lovington coming up to the plate. They trail by 2. And a pitching change. I'll catch that for you and get that ready. Lovington trailing, needing to make up some runs here. We'll be back with more Lady Wildcat softball coming up.
For 75 years, the Gandy family has been providing outstanding, well-rounded, and diversified services in our Oilview community, as well as our proud hometown communities in Lovington and Tatum. Gandy Corporation's family work environment for over 50 members inspires the best in all of us to rise to the top and do our personal best. The Gandy Corporation family is a strong supporter of Lee County's youth and the biggest fan of the Lovington Wildcats. Let's go Wildcats!
And welcome back to Lady Wildcat softball action as the first batter up, that is, for Lovington. Top of the order, Leslie Corral, and she popped out, and it was dropped in foul territory. So did she have control? They are going to call her safe. So Corral, they're going to say that she touched the first baseman, I guess, touched it and dropped it in fair territory. So Corral is on, I believe that was the first baseman, E3. And Delilah Ruiz is now at the plate. And that's going to miss inside and get away from the catcher, from Chavez. And that's going to move Corral over to second base in scoring position. Delilah Ruiz with the 1-0 count on that wild pitch. So here we go. Aramijo, the pitching change. Aramijo in the circle. And Ruiz shows bunt, but doesn't deaden the ball. Ball hits the bat and bounces up for a strike, 1-1. Probably trying to not just bunt and get on, but try to move the runner around in scoring position. I mean, Ruiz, the batter at the plate, Ruiz represents the potential tying run here in this game. It's a 3-1 game, very tight. Lovington will like to catch up here. Ruiz, and that's going to be I'll call that a pass ball. The other one was a wild pitch. The catcher, Chavez, got a glove. I think she could have blocked that out. So Corral now on third base. And a 2-0 count. Or 2-1 count, rather. And fouls that one off. So Ruiz at the plate. Ellis, that's Zimri Ellis on deck. Ochoa in the hole. And that misses high for ball 3. So it is now a full count. So 3-2, full count on Ruiz. She had a fly out to right field and reached on in air and got put out as part of a double play. Ooh, a swing and a high fly ball headed out to left field, but going back, making the catch. But it will score 1 because it was deep into left field, and the runner crosses. So Lovington scoring 1, now within 1. So it's a sac fly RBI, sac fly RBI to left field. Sac fly RBI for 1 out. Corral crossing the plate. Ellis is at the, and that one's going to fall in behind between shortstop and left field. That one's going to fall in. And Zimri Ellis hit the first pitch she saw. So Ellis on first base. Lovington within 1. 1 out. Zimri Ellis with a nicely hit single, kind of fell in the hole between shortstop and left field. And that brings up Ochoa to the plate. Swing and a foul. Back to the screen for strike number 1. Ochoa reached on a fielder's choice and got stranded, reached on a single and got stranded. She's gotten left on base twice in this game. 0-1 count. Swing and a miss. Fastball. Armillo bringing the heat. Ochoa swinging under it. So 0-2 count. She's got the number 2 batting average on the team, though. And high. So 1-2 the count. Ooh, and here comes the sun again. And there's a grounder. It's going to make its way. It's up the center, up the middle. Nicely hit. And Ellis reaches, or Ochoa reaches, and Ellis goes to second. So Ochoa with a single. Back-to-back singles. Zoe Blackwell up now. She struck out and singled and got stranded, so she's 1 for 2. Just the 1 out. Lovington do some damage here. So runners at first and second, 1 out. Blackwell to the plate, swings, fouls it back. All right, Blackwell ready, back in the box, calling for time while she gets set. 1 out, runners on first and second. There, she hits a grounder headed to shortstop, and Manga picks it up. Are they going to call runner interference on that, or are they going to call the player interfering with a runner? They're not going to call it at all. They're just going to let it go and say it was a fieldable ball. Neither one interfered with each other. So, nope. You're going to have, I was going to say, I would imagine that the coach, St. Pius's coach, is going to question that and say that it was a runner interference. The runner could also argue that the player was in her base path blocking her run. She got successfully over to third to load the bases. And they're going to say safe. They're going to say no runner interference. So Zoe Blackwell on with an infield single. There was no throw. There was no error. An infield single runs the bases full. Zoe Ellis to the plate. 1 out, bases loaded. Lovington, a golden opportunity here. They left seven on base in that first game against Memorial. All just barely won that game. They do not want to leave the runners stranded in this one. And that's going to be a ball. So a 1-0 count, 1 out, bases loaded. Ooh, that's going to be a call, strike, a fast ball, breaking ball over the outside corner for a call, strike 1, 1-0, 1-1 that is. 1 out, bases loaded. Need to get the ball to the outfield at least to keep it from being double playable. That's going to miss. So now 2-1 the count on Zoe Ellis at the plate. Behind Ellis, Bethany Tavera on deck and Bailey Garcia in the hole. And that's going to be a call, strike again. Zoe Ellis with a 2-2 count. Got to protect the plate with the 2 strikes. Lovington has an out to give. But they'd like to get runs. Ooh, it's tough at the plate. Count remains 2-2. Let's see. Ellis reached on an error and got stranded. Reached on a fielder's choice and got stranded. Ooh, that's going to come in low and run the count full. So now, full count. All right, so I am standing in this game. I'm standing, running the camera. And trying to catch all the field action here. And that misses. So Zoe Ellis. And that's an RBI walk. An RBI walk by Ellis. And now Lovington has batted around. We go back to Bethany. No. Have they batted? No, they haven't quite batted around. That's right. In this top of the fifth inning. Now it's Bethany Tavera. It is Bethany Tavera. Tavera Garcia Rivero. All right, 2 outs now. Or 1 out, still 1 out. Oh, and there's a ball hit. Yep, it's a pop out to position 4, the second baseman. So Bethany Tavera with a pop out to position 4 for out number 2. Out number 2, Bailey Garcia to the plate. And that's going to be a call strike. 0-1 count. Now 2 outs, bases still loaded. Lovington has tied it up. It's 3-all, 3 apiece in this game. Swing and a miss on Garcia as Aramillo brought the heat on that. Bailey Garcia a little behind it, and Bailey Garcia a little behind it, swinging under it as well. Up, pop up, foul. Let's see. It should be out of play. It is. So count remains on Garcia. 0-2. As Garcia trying to come through. She had a ringing double, a stand-up double her last time at bat. She's 1 for 2 today. Capability of being a very strong hitter. All right. Swing and ground ball to the second baseman, and they toss it over to second and get the force out at second base for the 3rd out. All right. So Lovington scores 1. They scored 2. They put 2 across and they tied it up, threatening to go ahead but couldn't do it. They left bases loaded. But at least it's tied, and we have a whole new ball game. So 3-all is the game right now, 3 apiece. And we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll be back with more Lady Wildcat softball state action coming up from St. Pius in Albuquerque.
Introducing a smarter, easier way to manage your Lee County Electric account. It is called Smart Hub. Now you can pay your bill anywhere, anytime, with 24-hour access to your account. It is free and simple to use. Just search for the Smart Hub app on your cell phone or device and download the free app, or go to our website at lcecnet.com and look for the Smart Hub logo to view your account or pay your bill online. Managing your Lee County Electric account conveniently and securely with Smart Hub. Lee County Electric, owned by those we serve.
Did you know LECO offers fiber internet to your home and business? LECO is the only local fiber internet company. This means a personal touch for local customers. Keep your internet with a local company. You won't be disappointed. LECO, keeping you connected and in control since 1954. LECO, the only local fiber internet company. Call 370-5010. Keep your internet with a local company. You won't be disappointed. Call 370-5010. LECO, keeping you connected and in control since 1954.
Lovington scores 2 runs on 3 hits. There was 1 error committed and 3 left on base. Technically, Bailey Garcia reaches on the fielder's choice, as that was a put out at second base on the force out. So now we go to bottom of the 5th inning. Lady Sarton's up to the plate, 4, 5, and 6, middle of the order for them. Bottom of the 5th. And it is 4, 5, and 6. That's no, it's not. Mangum. It is 44. That is Jojo Chavez. That's right, Chavez. Huh. I actually have a Mangum being due up. I'm not sure they have the right batter. There is a grounder to Ochoa. She picks it up and throws it over to Blackwell, covering first base. So 3-4. It's usually the other way around. It's usually 4-3 in the books, but it's 3-4 this time for out number 1. I didn't. I had Chavez flying out in as a third out in that one, but that's interesting. Okay, in the other inning, but we'll roll with it. So now Zoe Mangum, the shortstop, up to the plate. 1 out. And there's a little pop up right side of the field, and it's trouble because it doesn't get called. Blackwell was going out, and Rivero coming in on it, and the ball falls between them. There is no out. Neither one of them touched the glove. That's one of those. It's an error, but it's a mental error. I can't write it down as an error on one girl or the other, so it just becomes a single. So there is no error. It becomes a single. Coach McCraw going out to the circle. Coach McCraw wanting a timeout with the girls here in the circle, not making any changes that I can see, just wanting to tell them they are 3-3 tied here, and the potential go-ahead run is sitting on first base. And I think he was just trying to remind them, sharpen them up about calling for balls that are in the air, looking to catch them. But as I said, nobody got a glove. Nobody got a glove on that ball. So again, since when you don't know who really should have called and who couldn't and who called the other one off from out here, we don't know. So when there's nobody touches the ball, there is no error. Not that goes on in the books. So Jalen Alloway up to the plate. 1 out. 1 out, 1 on. Swing, and that is going to be, it's going to be a hit. It's going to get out in deep right field between center and right, and the throw is going to go to third base, and there's no play there, and the run does score the plate. So Mangum scores. And now the Lady Sartons have taken the lead back 4-3 with 1 out and a runner on third. That is Alloway with an RBI double. She moved to third on the throw. 1 out, And that's going to miss with 1-0 count. And that's going to be a call strike. Nice pitch by Quiroga. 1-1 count. With 1 out. And that misses low. And I'm never going to please everybody all of the time, and sometimes I'm not going to please anybody any of the time. All right, that is a foul out of play off to the dugout, so count 2-2. So Hui at the plate, a 2 RBI double, and a reached on an error and got stranded, and a check swing that goes around. Is going to end up being the 5th strikeout for Quiroga. So out number 2. And a swing and a miss. Somebody wants to run camera for me, you're welcome to. All right. And there's a hit over to shortstop. The throw over is good. 6-3 in the books for out number 3. Nicely played by Corral. 6-3, out number 3. 1 run across. 1 run across. They do that on 1 hit. There was no error. Able to charge. Again, that ball was not touched by anybody. That pop out into right field, shallow right field. Nobody touches it. There's no error, at least officially in the book. Left on base, 1. 4-3 is your score, moving to the top of the 6th inning. So 1 run, 1 hit, no error, 1 left on base.
Did you know LECO offers fiber internet to your home and business? LECO is the only local fiber internet company. This means a personal touch for local customers. Keep your internet with a local company. You won't be disappointed. LECO, keeping you connected and in control since 1954. LECO, the only local fiber internet company. Call 370-5010. Keep your internet with a local company. You won't be disappointed. Call 370-5010. LECO, keeping you connected and in control since 1954.
All right. Coming back, we have a change being made. Coach McCraw. So it's going to be a substitute batter. That's Braylon Hernandez, substitute batter coming in. So it's 9, 1, and 9, 1, and 2 in the order. And there is a shallow, that's a hit out into shallow center field. So Lovington is in business in the top of the 6th inning, a leadoff single. Leadoff single, and then Leslie Corral up to the plate. So it was position 9, and then position 1 and 2 in the order, and Corral to the plate. First pitch is in. It's going to be a ball. Top of the order, Corral, Ruiz Ellis. And a little pop-up. That could be trouble. It's going to drop in. The problem was that the runner at first, Corral, had to wait to see if it was going to be caught and then took off, but she slides in safely at first base. At second base, runner at second. And Corral is on, and a little bloop pop fell in. Loop single, nice job. Corral did her job to get on base. And then Hernandez reaches second. Runners at first and second now. Delilah Reese up to the plate. Lovington trailing by 1 run, but no out and runners at first and second. Delilah Ruiz at the plate, Zimri Ellis on deck, and Ochoa in the hole. And that's going to be high for ball 1. So 1-0. No outs. Runners on first and second. Oh, and a hot line drive hits the glove of the third baseman. It goes out to left field. It'll score 1. The throw comes in. And yes, crossing the plate. So nicely done. Hernandez scores from second. It hit the glove, but it was a hot line drive, and I'm not going to score that as an error. I think that it hit her the top of her glove and reflex and went out in the field. And it's an RBI single, and she moved over around on the throw. It's an RBI double, that is, not a single. RBI double. So now we're tied. RBI double, runners at second and third. 4-4 is your score. And the first pitch on Zimri Ellis is going to be a ball. Joanna Ochoa is on deck, and Zoe Blackwell in the hole. And that's going to be 2 balls. 2-0 count now on Zimri Ellis at the plate. Ellis, Ochoa, Blackwell. And a swing and foul out of play as Ellis has she snaps that bat around so quickly, and she has a lot of power. She has trouble being patient at the bat and waiting on that slight change of speed pitch, and she pulled that all the way around for a foul. 2-1 the count. But man, when she straightens it out, she's got pop of the bat, and there is a hot grounder to the shortstop. Hit her and bounced up. They're going to throw that in, but not before the run scores. Now Lovington has taken the lead. Lovington has a 5-4 lead with no outs. And again, that hit so hard. I'm not calling that an E6. That is another RBI single. That hit and bounced. I don't think that was a fieldable ball, a playable ball. So a run scored. Timeout being taken by the Lady Sartans as Lovington has gone ahead 5-4 here in the top of the 6th inning. We'll have more Lovington Lady Wildcat softball coming up.
Western States Insurance.
Why choose Western States Insurance as your independent insurance agent? Because Western States Insurance is more than an insurance agency. They're a people agency dedicated to the insurance needs of their customers. Western States Insurance is large enough to provide the products you demand and small enough to offer you personal service.
We've got you covered. Western States Insurance.
Call 396-1318 or go by 212 North Love in Lovington.
And welcome back to Lady Wildcat action. Runners on the corners for Lovington, first and third. And that is Johanna Ochoa up to the plate. Fouls one off, out of play for a strike. Strike one on Ochoa. Lovington has taken the lead 5-4 against the Lady Sartans here. With no out, runners at the corner. She shows bunt. There is going to be a throw. Oh, the throw sailed over the third baseman's head and will score. A throwing error by the catcher as the Lady Sartans saw that the runner was going to second and decided to go ahead and try to get the runner at third in a squeeze play. And instead, a bad throw, and E2 scores a run. And now Lovington has gone up by 2. Ellis is, safely makes it to second. And now Lovington is ahead 6-4. Swing and a miss. Healthy cut. Ochoa goes down swinging. That is just the first out. So 1 out. I'm challenged enough here with the wind, with the sun, with doing everything. Oh, as a big breeze comes through and threatens to blow everything off the table, equipment and all. Ay, ay, ay. And that is going to miss inside. So that is Zoe Blackwell at the plate. One out. Runner at second base. Blackwell at the plate. Lovington ahead by 2. They'd like to increase that lead here if they can. And Blackwell, a nicely hit ball out to center field, but it is caught. Still gave it a ride and a try. And since it was center field, it doesn't move the runner. So Zoe Blackwell, a fly out to position 8 in the books for out number 2. That brings up Zoe Ellis. Nope, they're going to have a substitute batter for Zoe Ellis. It's going to be Ivory Lopez. 2 outs, runner at second. Lopez to the plate, left-handed batter. Swing and a miss. She went after a high one for strike 1. A fastball riser by Adamijo in the circle. Swing and again a swing up, catching a piece of it for 2 strikes. So Lopez to the plate, 0-2 count, runner on second, and there's a foul, but protecting the plate, stays alive, spools one off. Lopez still trying to find one to get a solid hit on. 2 outs, a chance for Lovington to continue, extend the inning, and try to get more insurance runs here against the Lady Sartans. That's going to miss high and fast. So 1-2 the count now. Lovington putting 3 runs across in this one. They started off this at bat behind, and now they're 2 ahead. And that's going to miss high and outside as well. 2-2 the count. And there's a hit. A little pop out to position 5. I don't know if the camera caught that or not. I had a player in front of me. But pop out. Will fly out to position 5 in the books for out number 3, but not before Lovington puts 3 runs across. They go ahead of the Lady Sartans. Score is 6-4. And of course, I am seeing this now. When this was set up, it was assumed that Lovington would be the home team in this, or they were the home team in the first one. So the score going into it was reversed, but it is corrected, although for me, I have to keep putting it in the wrong way for it to come out the right way for you to see. So because Lovington was the home team in the first game and then they became the visiting team in this one, the way that it was set up in Boxcast continued from the first game, and I did not think of that or realize that. So I'm inputting it correctly, but it was flip-flopped in the second game, so it had been showing. But it was tied for so long, it didn't matter. It was tied 4-all and 3-all, 3 and 3-0, 3-all, and 4-all. And now Lovington has gone ahead in this one, and it is 6-4. So Lovington is the away team, but I'm going to have to keep putting them in as the home team for the data to appear the right way to you on the screen. So we'll just make sure that after they've broken this tie, they've gone ahead. Lovington, it is 6-4. Just need to explain that how that goes. So the Boxcast just continued on from that first game that win against Miyamura. So 3 runs across for Lovington in their at bat. 3 runs across. And they did that. I'm going to go back while this at-bat begins for the Lady Sartans. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, 3 runs for Lovington on 4 hits. And there was 1 error committed and 1 left on base. All right. So we go over to the bottom of the 6th inning here. Bottom of the 6th. First batter up is number 1 for the Sartans. That's Mary Grady. Number 1 for the Sartans, Mary Grady. All right, bottom of the 6th inning. And that was a substitute batter. Mary Grady was batting in place of Sophia Trujillo. So Grady is on first, working the walk. And that brings up number 10, Bella Caba, to the plate. She shows bunt, lays a pretty good one down, and by the time they get to it, there is no throw. And everybody was a little confused about where the throw might be and who was going where and who was covering which base, and they ended up with no throw. But here's the deal, at least you don't throw the ball away that way. At least there was no ball in the outfield rolling to the fence with a runner scoring. Said yes, and that's again one of those. It's a mental error in the field. A lack of a throw is not written down as us holding the ball and making an error. It just becomes a held ball with no throw. So now runners on first and second. The walk has Grady on second. Kaba with the bunt single. She's on first. And another bunt as they throw to first and they get her out. And then they wisely hold onto the ball instead of throwing it away and throwing it to third, chancing and risking a bad throw. So instead, it is a sack bunt by Isabel Villegas. It moves the runners around to second and third.
Ready to cover! Let's go!
So 1 out. All right, so that is number 13. That is Lexi Aramijo, who went in for Murray in the circle. Ooh, and there's just missed apparently. Just missed. So 1 out. There is 1 out. And a swing and a single going out to left field. Garcia flubs that one, and it will score 2. Throw. There is no throw home. It would not have been in time anyway. But that gets by. That was a hot grounder that went between short and third and went out to left field. Garcia initially knocked it down, but then it got by her. And so two runs score on that. All right. All right, so 1-1. Still the 1 out. 2 runs across. We're tied again. So 6-6 is your score. Aramijo with a 2. Well, it was an E7 that got her on and allowed the 2 quick runs in. And then that brings up Chavez to the plate. Mangum on deck all the way in the hole. So bases. Aramijo ends up on second with the 2 runs in. That brings up number 44, JoJo Chavez. One out. Runner on second base, and that's going to miss a low. So 1-0. 1-0 count to run around on second. 2 runs across already for the Lady Sartans, and we're tied 6-all. That's going to be a foul out of play off to the right for strike number 1. And a swing and a foul. So strike 2. 1-2 count now. This is Chavez. Chavez, four home runs on the year. 34 hits and a strike. A call strike. A call strike, and JoJo Chavez can't believe it. All right. All right, so Zoe Mangum to the plate, the shortstop. And they intentionally walk Mangum. So runners at first and second, intentional walk, and that brings up all the way to the plate. So 1 out. No, 2 outs. Yep, 2 outs after the strikeout. 2 outs. There's been a walk. So intentional walk puts runners on first and second, and there is a high fly ball. It's going to be out of play. It's a foul ball off to the left. Camera can't see that anyway because it's going to run into the dugout, okay? Yeah, I'm standing and running the camera. So runners at first and second. And that misses low on Holloway. So 1-1 count. 1-1, 2 outs. And a swing and a miss. 1-2 on Holloway. Holloway hit an RBI double and got stranded, had a bunt single and scored and grounded out. She's 2 for 3 and got her. Strikeout for out number 3. And 2 across to tie it back up, but no more. So Lovington gives up a couple of runs, but then doesn't give any more. And we're tied 6-all, and we'll have more Lovington Lady Wildcat softball coming up.
Western States Insurance.
Why choose Western States Insurance as your independent insurance agent? Because Western States Insurance is more than an insurance agency. They're a people agency dedicated to the insurance needs of their customers. Western States Insurance is large enough to provide the products you demand and small enough to offer you personal service.
We've got you covered. Western States Insurance.
Call 396-1318 or go by 212 North Love in Lovington.
Congratulations, students and student athletes of Lee County. R360 congratulates all Dow, Eunice, Hobbs, Lovington, Tatum, and the surrounding high schools, and wishes the best of luck to our student athletes competing this week in state playoffs. Right now is more important than ever to recognize positive achievements in our communities. Join R360 in saluting our amazing Lee County students. This community message is brought to you by R360.
So there were 2 runs on 1 hit, 1 error committed, 2 left on base. So we go to the top of the 7th inning, and we're tied 6-all. So Lovington has a chance to try to break this tie right here. A swing and a foul out of play, as that is Bethany Tavera up to the bat. 0-1 count. Garcia on deck, and whoever's batting in the 9th slot. Last time it was a pinch batter. It was Hernandez. So 7, 8, 9 due up for Lovington with Tavera up first. An 0-1 count. That misses outside for ball 1. One and 1 count. Lovington needing to break this tie here. They need to get at least a run across and then hold the Lady Spartans. That's going to miss high and outside for ball 2. All right, so 6-all. Lovington. And that's going to miss low. So 3-1 count now. Lovington needing base runners. They'd like to get as many runs as they can here. They want to break the tie, but they want to get as many across as they can. They did not score until the 3rd inning. They put 1 run across in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, and then 3 in the top of the 6th. So she draws a walk, and Tavetta on base. All right, top of the 7th inning, tied 6-all. And let's see, Coach McCraw, I think he's calling. Is he calling for a courtesy runner for Tavetta at first? Yep, she will be allowed a courtesy runner, and that's going to be number 19, Nini Hernandez. So Nini Hernandez will go to first. That brings up Bailey Garcia to the plate. No outs, a runner on first. Good chance for Bailey, a good chance for her to rip into one like she can do. See if she can bring the runner around and in, or at least move the runner, get on base, and she lays down a bunt, a very nice one down the third base line. Yeah! It was a pretty nice bunt. I thought she pushed it a little much, but it went down. It hugged the line, and I think it might have rolled foul. Had the third baseman, had Ivana Villegas let it go and not touched it, not run up on it as much, it might have rolled foul. Lucky for Lovington, she didn't do that. And Bailey Garcia gets on with a bunt single. There's no throw. Now, the fact that she didn't throw anywhere, she looked up and felt like she didn't have time to get either runner, so it becomes a bunt single. So Bailey Garcia gets on with a bunt single. And runners on first and second. And, yep, that's going to move the runners around for sure. All right, now Hernandez to the plate. Runners now moved over to second and third. On the ball, get past the catcher. So runners at second and third. And Hernandez to the plate, a little timeout, just an infield timeout without the coach by the Lady Sarton. So we'll keep it right here. Just say thank you to all of the sponsors. You see their logos on the screen. You hear the messages. And thanks to a lot of sponsors who have been with the Lady Cats all season long. And there may have been another one or two. I don't know who came on board just for the playoffs. So thank you very much. All right, back to the action now with runners at second and third. No outs. Lovington needing to break this tie, 6-all. And Braylon Hernandez taking a good cut at it. Swing and a miss.
You're there. Hit it with your eyes, babe. Watch it.
So a walk and a bunt single, and then a pass ball have things in business for Lovington, needing to break the 6-all tie. That misses high. Chavez corralling it. Otherwise, there could have been a threat of runner coming home. We'll see. 1-1, the count. No outs here in the top of the 7th inning, all tied with a trip. Not the Albuquerque net is going to be a single that goes out, and it's going to be a hit. It's going to hit left field fence. Don't know if you can see it because of the people in front of the camera there, but it scores 2, and Lovington is up by 2. A well-hit ball out to deep left field between left and center by Braylon Hernandez. 2 RBI double. Brings in the courtesy runner for Tavera. And Garcia, now, wow. So two runs across, and Lovington has gone up by 2. Still no outs, and a good swing and a miss. Leslie Corral wants to keep the line moving. Still no outs. No outs. Corral at the plate. Top of the lineup again. Top of the lineup. And that's going to be a call strike. So 0-2 count. No outs. A runner on second base. Lovington has gone ahead by 2. And a swing. And a foul. So she stays alive at the plate. Got to protect. 0-2 count. No outs. Lovington trying to do as much damage here as they can. However many runs they put across, that's how many the Lady Sartans have to answer just to tie it up. And a little pop over to the first baseman, a little foul pop, caught for out number 1. So Corral with a foul pop to position number 3 for out number 1. And that brings up Delilah Ruiz to the plate. So 1 out. Runner on second still. Ruiz to the plate. Lovington up by 2. And a call strike at the knees on the Ruiz. It was definitely the low end of the zone on that call. We can't see left and right on the plate from here. But we can see top and bottom of the strike zone. So 0-2 count now. Ruiz having to protect. 1 out, a runner on second. Ruiz trying to keep things moving and going for Lovington here. And a swing and a miss. Guess that was just now strike. Okay. So now she got a piece of it to stay alive. Little hit, could be trouble, but second baseman catches that. They toss it over just for good measure to try to catch in case Hernandez out there hadn't gotten back in time or touched the bag, but she did. So a pop out to position 4 for the second out. Now Zimri Ellis to the plate. 2 outs. Ellis at the plate, Ochoa on deck. And she swings and catches a piece of it. Zimri Ellis anxious to use her hitting skills to keep this at-bat going for Lovington. With 2 outs, a runner on second. And pops that one, fouls that out of play for strike 2. Lovington has plated 2. They broke the tie and went ahead, but they'd like to make it more if they can. Lady Sartans will have the bottom of the 7th at bat. And she flinches. She wanted to swing at that, but she didn't, and it was outside. Of course, with 2 strikes, got to protect the plate and swing at anything close. Try to spoil it off if she can. Ochoa on deck and Blackwell in the hole. Swing and a hit to the shortstop. Mangum fumbles that one, and that is going to score a run. The throw comes in too late, as that was a hot grounder, but it hit Mangum's glove, and I didn't charge an error on her earlier, but that one I think probably stoppable and playable. So an E6 with 2 runs, there was nothing to lose. The run was going full out and comes in and scores from second. So Lovington goes up by 3. 2 outs. A runner on first. So Ochoa to the plate, Johanna Ochoa. And swings and fouls that one off. So I believe that's 1-1. It is 1-1. that's going to miss inside. So 2-1 is count. 2 out to runner on first. Lovington would like to keep things moving, put some more across their head, 9-6. There's a hot grounded to third, and the throw over to first is in time. So that's going to do it. The at-bat for Lovington, but they put 3 across. They break the tie and are up by 3. Now they have to hold the Lady Sartans, who have to come up with 3 to tie it, 4 to win it. We will come back with more Lady Wildcats state softball action at St. Pius in Albuquerque.
Congratulations.
It's no secret, at some point you'll have to question or need to replace or fix something on your vehicle. Whether your vehicle is new or ancient, Lovington Auto Supply is your trusted advisor when you need dependable auto parts. Not only do they have the parts you need, they have real answers to your real automotive questions, and that helps keep your vehicle running longer and stronger. Quality parts, helpful people. Lovington Auto Supply, 217 West Avenue D in Lovington. Napa, get up and go.
NMJC, success through learning. My future's looking brighter. My life's an open door. New Mexico Junior College gave me the chance I was looking for. Affordable education designed to fit my needs. Now every day is filled with opportunity. NMJC, success through learning.
At nmjc.edu.
So the Lady Cats scored 3 runs on 2 hits. There were 2 errors, 1 left on base. And we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Lady Cats are leading 9-6. And all they have to do is hold the Lady Sartans to keep them from scoring. First pitch is in, and it's a sizzler. Call, strike 1. Quiroga in the circle. So bottom of the 3rd inning. One and one. 1-1 the count on Aubrey Huey. And the call is a ball. Lovington faithful wanting to call strike on it. Swing and a foul down the left field line for strike number 2. Nine to 6 your score. Lovington needing to hold Miyamura. Needing to hold. They beat Miyamura in the first game. I'm sorry, I'm getting a heat stroke here. And that floated in. It looked good to a lot of the fans, but it was called a ball, and it runs the count full. Floated in. A little change of speed pitch by Quiroga. As St. Pius needs 3 to tie it and 4 to win it. And a strike. A little excuse me, check swing. Huey goes down swinging. Strike out for out number 1. So 1 out, nobody on. Now Lady Sarton's down to 2 outs to tie it or win it here. If they can't tie it, they lose it. Lovington, yeah, beautiful. Quiroga with probably one of the top speed pitches that I've seen from her. Call strike. An off-speed pitch as she changed up her speed, kept it up a little high, and Grady swung and foul-tipped it back for strike 2. So 1 out, nobody on. Lovington leading by 3, bottom of the 7th inning. If they hang on and hold the Lady Sartans, and that misses, must have been inside for ball 1, 1-2 count. Lady Sartans have got to come up with 3 to tie it. Now, both of these teams are moving on to Albuquerque. Oh, and a good changeup, and she leaned on it. Boy, she leaned. She wanted to swing, but she let it go. High and outside for ball 2. Grady with a 2-2 count on her. Both teams will move on and play next Thursday here in Albuquerque. There's a chopper over to Blackwell at second. She picks it up, makes the throw. Out number 2. 4-3 in the books for out number 2. Mary Grady to the plate again. So 2 outs. St. Pius down to the last out. Whoever wins this one comes back up to Albuquerque next Thursday in the winner's bracket and plays Thursday. Whoever loses still comes up here, but they're in the consolation bracket. With it becomes starting with this game, it's a double elimination tournament. So this win or loss counts toward that. And if Lovington hangs on, they come back up here next Thursday in the winner's bracket. Swing and a miss. One and one count, 2 outs, nobody on. Lovington leading 9-6. Swing. Oh, and in the glove, and the throw is not good. It was, I will show you that. It was too quick to move the camera to catch, but that was right at the end of the glove. Zoe Ellis, it was a little low line drive shot, and Ellis reached down to get it, and it was just right in the end of her glove and the webbing, and it rolled out. She picked it up and then threw, but rushing the throw, and couldn't get it in time. So a runner on first. And now top of the lineup. No, Belikova, bottom of the lineup. Belikova. A little pop up. Who's got it? The catcher has it. There's a collision between the batter, the runner, and I think the first baseman. And they run out. The collision has both girls down on the field. I have to move the camera away. We do not show the injured in any sport. Once there's an injury, we turn the camera away from that injury. I don't think it will have an effect on the outcome of the game because the collision did not make a difference in terms of whether the ball was caught. The ball was caught and held by the catcher. It was a foul pop out by Kaba, but even runner interference it doesn't matter. The ball was caught. I don't think it makes a difference, so we'll see what the umpire says, but the ball was already caught, and the catcher caught the ball and was not involved. The catcher was not involved in the play, or in the collision. So both players are up. Both players are up and looking okay. We certainly hope they both are. And now there's a question about that, but I believe it is the game. The catcher caught the ball and was not involved in the collision, so I think it's a clean play. So a pop out to catcher to position 2 in the books for out number 3, and that's the game. And Lovington wins 9-6 over the Lady Sartans, and now Lovington is in the winner's bracket and will play on Thursday. I had looked this up earlier, and I did write it down. I believe they were going to face Goddard in one scenario, and so I'd have to look real quick. Let's go ahead and take a break, and I'll come back and wrap this up, and I'll look real fast on the bracket and see who they'll play next week. I believe the game will be on Thursday. So more Lady Cat softball coming up in just a moment.
Commitment runs deep. For 45 years, Double R Pipe and Supply has been working alongside you, providing long-lasting service and support for our oil industry and community. Double R is full-service pipe sales and rental with EMI and hydro testing and CNC threading, known to deliver when others couldn't. Double R Pipe and Supply is about integrity, dedication, and innovation. They are strong supporters of our youth, academics, and athletics. Double R Pipe and Supply says, go, fight, win. Let's go, Wildcats.
Introducing a smarter, easier way to manage your Lee County Electric account. It is called Smart Hub. Now you can pay your bill anywhere, anytime, with 24-hour access to your account. It is free and simple to use. Just search for the Smart Hub app on your cell phone or device and download the free app, or go to our website at lcecnet.com and look for the Smart Hub logo to view your account or pay your bill online. Managing your Lee County Electric account conveniently and securely with Smart Hub. Lee County Electric, owned by those we serve.
States Insurance.
Why choose Western States Insurance as your independent insurance agent? Because Western States Insurance is more than an insurance agency. They're a people agency dedicated to the insurance needs of their customers. Western States Insurance is large enough to provide products you demand and small enough to offer you personal service.
We've got you covered. Western States Insurance.
Call 396-1318 or go by 212 North Love in Lovington.
Introducing a smart...
Norlee General Hospital supports all Lee County High School athletic programs and is proud to bring you this live play-by-play action. Norlee Hospital knows your health needs should be taken seriously, which is why their physicians are always first to react. Why choose another hospital when you can have one right at home with Norlee General Hospital? Call Norlee at 396-6611 or come by for a visit and talk to their staff and bring back that state title.
And welcome back. It looks like Lovington will face Artesia. It looks like, if I'm reading the bracket right, Lovington will play Artesia on Thursday the 14th at 9:30 a.m. and they will do that. I don't think they have I don't see. Oh, it'll be Cleveland High School, the good field number 1, the best of those 4 fields. So Lovington will go and they'll be in the winner's bracket, but they will face the number 1 ranked 4A team, a team they know well in their own district, Artesia. They'll play Artesia Thursday morning at 9:30. And but they are in double elimination mode now. They have to be beaten twice in that tournament to be sent home. So they go in the winner's bracket. They'll face Artesia. If they were to win, they move on. If they were to lose, they still move on and have a chance. They could come back up through the consolation bracket and play for the state championship on Saturday. So they are not done by any means. They end up coming from behind twice to tie it up and then go ahead of St. Pius Lady Sartans here and win this game 9-6. And I'll have just another brief wrap-up. I just wanted to tell you about their next step, but we'll hear from more sponsors and come back and hear more and have more of your Lovington Lady Cat softball.
Listen up. B&B Rentals and Services has got dumpsters. Can you believe it? 30 and 40-yard dumpsters. These guys are a contractor's dream. B&B Rentals has light plants, porta-john trash trailer combos, office trailers, emergency and recovery trailers. Conveniently located in Lovington, B&B can serve you anywhere in Lee County and the surrounding area. Find B&B Rentals LLC on social media, and if you can remember the number, call 396-1722. B&B Rentals and Services.
Attention shoppers, Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items, bread products, and meats. Every week, Bob's Thriftway has big savings for their customers. Bob's Thriftway is your local hometown grocery store. So for the freshest produce, the best meats, shop Bob's Thriftway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Lovington Municipal Schools welcomes everyone back. Students, faculty, staff, and parents. This year, show your Wildcat spirit by supporting Lovington students and their activities. While the students are working hard on their games and grades, Lovington schools are working hard for your students and parents. They have a great website full of helpful information to keep you up to date. Check out lovingtonschools.net and stay up to date with Lovington school activities and announcements. And go Cats!
Stone Oilfield Services says many traffic fatalities may be caused by an intoxicated driver. So do yourself and your community a favor and remember the 3 C's of safety: caution, courtesy, and above all, common sense. Safe and sober driving is everyone's responsibility. That message was from Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington, a name you can trust and depend on. For quality and integrity, call 575-396-1840. From the Stone family and staff at Stone Oilfield Services.
Listen up. B&B Rentals and Services has got dumpsters. Can you believe it? 30 and 40-yard dumpsters. These guys are a contractor's dream. B&B Rentals has light plants, porta-john trash trailer combos, office trailers, emergency and recovery trailers. Conveniently located in Lovington, B&B can serve you anywhere in Lee County and the surrounding area. Find B&B Rentals LLC on social media, and if you can remember the number, call 396-1722. B&B Rentals and Services.
And welcome back to the wrap-up for Lady Wildcats State Softball. They end up winning this one 9-6 against St. Pius, and they will come back up in the winner's bracket to play next Thursday morning at 9:30 against number 1 seed Artesia. This is how the game finished up. Lovington scored 9 runs on 13 hits. They left 9 on base. They committed 3 errors. The Lady Sartans of St. Pius had 6 runs on 7 hits. They commit 4 errors, and they left 9 on base. And Quiroga went the distance for Lovington in the circle. And I have her as 1, 2. I'm going to count strikeouts right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, I had it written down as 7, but I wanted to make sure that was right. So, yep, 3 plus 4. Yep, I've got it. I had it right. 7 strikeouts for her. Let's see. I'm not sure. I think she gave up just 1. No, there were 2 walks. Yeah, she gave up 2 walks. That was it. So good job in the circle for Quiroga. And Lovington doing their job and then some. It looked improbable. This team barely, there was a point very late until the very last minute and last play of that first game today against Miramora, where it looked like Lovington was going to be out of this tournament completely. But they came back and squeaked a win out against Miramora and then came into this one, and they didn't score a run until the top of the 3rd and didn't score again. Oh, they scored in the 3rd, the 4th, and the 6th and 7th innings to do their job. But they were down in this one. They were tied up twice, and then they were able to break that 6-all tie, and they're at bat in the top of the 7th, and then hold at the Lady Sarton. So 9-6 final score. Congratulations, Coach. Yeah, you want to come on over? Actually, I'm still on the air doing this. So I was telling how you came within a hair's breadth of losing to Miramora, pulled that one out, and then got into this one, was down in this one, came back, tied it up, then was behind, tied it up, went ahead, and then stayed ahead, held them at the end. What do you think, Coach?
Oh, well, Miramora game was like, we had played them early in the year. We handled them pretty well. I thought I put my best hit lineup in there, and then we couldn't get a hit till the last inning. I think the girls just play hard. And keep telling them, we got out. We got a shot.
Right, that's true.
Proved that in the first game.
Sure did.
And then we had actually played St. Pius. We came up here early in the year and played a doubleheader. We lost both of them.
Both of those. Yeah. Talked about
they're really good.
They are.
They
They're
are
a good solid team.
Yeah. And say the girls just keep playing hard. As long as we do that, we'll be all right.
That's right.
Even if you play as hard as you can and lose, then there's nothing to hang your head about.
Right.
So
If you leave it out on the field.
That's
But
right.
you guys pulled out 2 wins today. Good job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
In the winner's bracket, moving on, of course, up here next Thursday, you guys are going to play, if I'm reading the bracket right, you guys have to play Artesia at 9:30 on Thursday morning. Is that right?
Did they win today?
Yes.
Okay, then we'll get Artesia. I think it's the same scenario we had last year. We got in the winner's bracket, played Artesia the first game.
Right.
We lost that one, and then we managed to come back on Friday and take 3 in a row. So,
Right.
Anything can happen as long as you
That's
play
right.
hard.
Exactly. You guys could beat Artesia that first game up there on next, and good luck in that game, Coach.
Thank you very
Safe
much.
travels back, and we'll be back up here next week.
All right, you too. Thank you
All
for
right.
doing all this for us.
Well, we're happy to. And can't always make everybody happy with everything that we do and everything that everything I say and everything that we do and every camera angle. Never know. Do the best we can as well as you guys. So that's all right. Thank you, Coach. You're exactly right. So 9-6 final score. You heard from Coach McCraw, and we'll have more state softball action coming up next week. We'll have the Jowl and Eunice teams play on Wednesday. And I believe Jowl plays at 9:30 a.m. and Eunice at noon. We'll have those games at just one game each on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, Lovington softball will have that game at 9:30 Thursday morning from Field 1 at Cleveland High School at Rio Rancho. I'm Dawn Morgan. Thank you very much for watching and listening as we presented to you a couple of long, interesting, hot, sunny games, and congratulations. They went the way of Lovington. So thanks very much, and thanks to Evie and Tiff Stuver communicating and monitoring of video and audio. And I will be making the trip back along with the team also coming back this evening. I would imagine everybody's going to go find something to eat. I checked out of my hotel this morning, so I'm going to be hitting the road, and we will see you from the state softball and baseball tournament. The Eunice boys have made it in. I have not heard. I know the Lovington boys did not win today. I don't know about Hobbs' baseball scores from today. Hobbs lost last night and had to win that first game this morning to still be in it. So I haven't heard about that or seen those scores, but definitely got some softball and baseball. Eunice baseball is seeded number 1 in the state in 2A. So definitely have that game for you on Thursday as well. So we're going to call this one, wrap it up, and they're going to be shooing me out of here. I haven't even started, of course, tearing down equipment, so we'll get that done. Now, we say so long. Thank you very much. And again, congratulations to the Lovington Lady Wildcats. 9-6 final score over St. Pius. And we'll have more Lovington Lady Wildcats softball coming up. State softball action next week on Lovington Sports YouTube, Lee County News and Sports YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com, and hopefully Z94 KZOR Facebook. Good day.